When we are betrayed, broken, humiliated, a shadow remains. It lives in memory. Sometimes it is silent. Sometimes it whispers. And sometimes it screams into the silence itself. I sought answers from those who lived long before us. I turned to ancient philosophy, Chinese, Arabic, Greek, Buddhism, to the sages whose suffering turned into wisdom. And I found something that changed my perception. When the one who once shattered you still lives in your memory, it means you haven't understood one thing. It means you haven't understood why pain appeared in the first place. Zhuangzi, the dreamer among sages, once said, "The one who destroyed you was not an enemy, but a mirror. Through them, you saw where you were fragile, where illusion lived, where you yourself were not yet whole." Mystic, Sufi, traveler of inner worlds, Ibn Arabi said, "The one who wounded you is not always your enemy. Sometimes he is a messenger who came with a torch to burn away your false self. The one who left you alone has actually set you free. The one who humiliated you has shown you where you lived in the illusion of your worth." To Ibn Arabi, the soul is not a house. It is a grain of sand carried by the wind. And when you are in tears, when you are in pain, you are closer to the truth than when you are at peace. An anonymous poet, whose verses have reached us through the centuries, once wrote, "Do not rip from your heart the one who wounded you. Plant them there like a seed, and watch as forgiveness begins to grow. Do not forget transformation. Do not suppress. Be grateful, because it was this pain, this person, this moment that led you to the edge, the threshold beyond which your true self begins. When the one who broke you still lives in your memory, do not fight it. They are already gone. What remains is you and your soul and the desert within where the first flower 'tis about to bloom. This is the beginning of your return to yourself. The Arab sage Al-Ghazali once said, "He who holds anger in his heart burns himself like fire burns paper, but not the enemy." Al-Ghazali wrote that to purify the soul, one must walk the path of self-observation. Pain is like a mirror. It is not the enemy. It is the path to understanding who you are without the story, without the resentment, without the fear. You are more than the trauma. You are the one who survived it, which means you are stronger than it. Buddhism teaches, why be angry at the firewood that burns you? The fire within them is not theirs. People are merely the manifestation of causes and effects. Sometimes they bring pain, but not always out of malice. Often, it is their own ignorance, blindness, pain. I do not justify. I let go, because I don't want to be a lump of coal burning from the inside with a fire called memory of a betrayer. In Buddhism, they say, suffering is clinging to what is no longer there, to illusions, to images, to people who are now in the past. When you think of the one who broke you, you are holding that coal, but you can let it go. Not for them, for yourself. Buddha said, no one will save you but yourself. You are your own refuge. You are your own path. The Stoic Epictetus, born a slave, found freedom through a single thought. You do not control what others do, but you always control how you respond. When you carry the one who broke you in your memory, you give them power, but you can reclaim yourself. Socrates said, what happens to us is not what's truly frightening. What's frightening is not understanding why it happens to us. When you suffer, ask yourself, who am I beyond this pain? Who have I become because of it? And most importantly, why am I still holding the hand of the one who broke me in my memory? Socrates taught not to run from pain, but to face it like a wise enemy from whom you must learn your most important lesson. Only then do you become free. Only then do you find your true self, the self that cannot be broken. Krishna teaches, you are neither body nor thought. You are the observer, fearless and eternal. When you separate yourself from pain, you look at it not from within, but as part of the path. You are not the emotion, you are the witness. And when you realize that pain does not define you, a new strength is born within, one you didn't even know you carried. The Indian sages believed, the mind is like a lake. Waves of emotion and pain distort the reflection. But once the water is still, you will see yourself clearly. Someone hurt you, but you are no longer the one who was hurt back then. You are growing. You are looking inward. You are deeper than your past. The wound is the place where the light enters you. So spoke Jalal al-Din Rumi, poet, sage, lover, broken, reborn. He wrote, the wound is the place where the light enters you. The one who caused you pain shattered your old shell, yes, cruelly, yes, unfairly, but in that crack, the best version of you was born. Rumi was not afraid of pain. He looked into it as into a sacred mirror, because pain is a doorway. Do not grieve. Whatever you lose opens the way for what is truly meant for you. Sometimes destruction is not destruction. It's relocation, transition, cleansing. You think, I was betrayed. But maybe life simply removed what no longer belonged. You say, it hurts. But maybe you're being brought back to the present. The purpose of pain is not to avoid it. Its purpose is to move through it and no longer be ruled by it. When the one who broke you still lives in your memory, it means there's one thing you haven't understood. Not because you are weak, not because you haven't tried to forget, but because you still see it as a wound and not as a door. This pain didn't come by accident. It tore you out of old illusions. It shattered the shell you once lived in. In every ancient culture, there is the image of the phoenix. It dies and is reborn, but not the same. It never returns as it was. It becomes a new form of itself.